Okay, so I'm sitting here going over Sleeping with Sirens video, The Strays, and I see a lot of familiar faces in it. It's just a trip. I'm sitting here in Texas where there's not a familiar face in sight. I've met one other lady that's from Oregon besides my grandma here. I've gotten one hug from a lady besides my grandma here, and it's just I don't want to down on Houston or or the city that I'm sitting in next to Houston or NASA or anything like that, but the people just seem like they're unfriendly and lost in their own imaginations here. I mean, it's like I feel like I'm invisible, literally. I've got that new track called Invisible on White, the channel White with three eyes, and it's just disturbing to me. I mean, I used to get a lot of attention in my hometown. I used to have a new girlfriend to go see every night, and that was my life. That was what I did. I was doing a lot of crystal meth at the time. I mean, I was known to literally shoot up $100 bill and up to 1.3 grams with only about 30 units of water on the stuff. And that was, I mean, one of the main reasons I moved to Texas was to change my life and get away from the drugs, everything like that, which I've accomplished so far. But I still can't find work because of this stupid argument with my grandma and these people holding a grudge against me. It was all to get her medical care. She hadn't eaten a meal in days. Hadn't had breakfast, lunch, and dinner in over 10 months by that point in time. And I felt like I didn't feel like I personally was abusing her. I felt like she was abusing herself. I felt like she was lost in a depression that nobody was going to help. The old lady was living off of Ensure, could hardly walk, could hardly contemplate a sentence that I said, and she was just irritated a lot of the time, just really spiteful about everything. But back to the Sleeping with Sirens subject. That guy lived with me when I was 13, 14 years old. Our parents got together and they were boyfriend and girlfriend for a while, and me and him had our own little thing going on. He picked up my electric guitar one day and started plucking around on it. And he's like, you know what, I think I'd like to learn to play guitar. And he started getting tabs and printing them offline and stuff like that. And, I mean, that's where he started. He ended up getting an acoustic guitar his mom bought for him and stuff while she was working in a restaurant. And it got to the point to where her and my dad started arguing and stuff. And he ended up moving out and moving away from me. That really fucked me up. That was my best friend. That was the only friend that I had. I was a bigger kid. A lot of people made fun of me and stuff, so I reclused a lot. I didn't go to high school. I resorted to having to sell a lot of weed to get my food and stuff like that, to survive. I had to. I had no other choice. That's when I was introduced to crystal meth, and it got to the point where I was selling weed to support my crystal meth habit and stuff, and then it just turned into a crystal meth frenzy I don't really care to get into. But he moved less than 3 miles away, and into this place called the Benson Manor Apartments, next to this fucking place I don't even want to speak of either, because they piss me off so goddamn bad with their fucking work habits and the way they run a business. But that's, I'm not here to cause problems or start drama or anything like that. That's just a matter of my opinion and stuff. I don't ever have to deal with those people again if I don't want to. So, moved into there. We did a lot of partying and stuff like that. The guy's real name is Matt. I'm not going to give you his last name, but Kellen Quinn is not that guy's real name. We used to get drunk together and come up with funny nicknames, like Mr. Fuck Pants, McFuck Goo. We had a lot of Mick nicknames, like Mick Asshole, just shit like that. We lived next to a place called McMinimans, which is, where they brew beer and stuff like that. And I just had a lot of good times with the guy. I got to the point where I went to rehab for my crystal meth addiction. And I got out, and, I think it was about 2 or 3 months after I got out, he informed me that he was moving to Portland. And that just crushed me. I mean, I loved the guy a lot. And I was like, wow, this is big, we're not going to be seeing each other at all. And he moved, and he came back and visited once, and that was the last time I saw him. We hung out for a little bit. He was staying in a motel. He had gotten a grant or a trust fund from his dad. Stuff, and he went back to Portland and got himself a job and stuff like that. But he packs a gun now and shit, which is... The only time I use a gun is when I'm going out hunting, when I got to go out and get food. I'm not much into killing people. That's just not a way to solve a problem to me, it's just people have their issues going on inside their head. I mean, rock on to the army and stuff like that. That's cool. I'm just more of an entertainer. I've been shot before due to people's conspiracy and their impatience and stuff like that with me. Not just flat not wanting to listen to what the situation was and trying to accuse me of being schizophrenic and stuff like that, which I'm not. I'm not crazy in the head. I'm just lost. I haven't seen a familiar face. One, in Houston, I wake up in this strange place every day, and it's like, what am I doing? I could go back to Oregon and be homeless on the streets again because my mom doesn't want to accept the facts, and the facts of my injuries and stuff like that. She'd rather live her new life with her new son and her new husband and stuff. It's just tough. I met one other lady from Oregon that knew about Oregon in Walmart. I mean, the lady that rung me up, I was trying to buy beer, and she was like, I have to call my supervisor. I don't know if I can sell you this beer because I had an Oregon ID. I was like, what, do you think it's fake? Have you never heard of Oregon before? And that's what I think the issue was. And the lady that happened to come check my ID was from Oregon in the surrounding area that I used to live in. So I was like, rock on. That was cool. I've gotten one hug from a lady besides my grandma since I've been here, and it's just tough. I'm afraid to go walk out on the streets. I'm afraid I'm going to get shot or something. I've seen so many people get shot and killed over just speeding and stuff like that. And I've been attacked by the cops multiple times, and I don't plan on getting attacked by them again. I'm just sick of having my things taken from me. I'm sick of being ignored. I'm sick of my injuries and nobody wanting to believe that I'm sitting here with bullet wounds all over me. I've got them in my head. I've got them everywhere. I've got one in my chest right here. And it's just, I'm just sick of the infidelity of life. We went to church a few times, and it's the same group of people from Oregon that I used to go to church with that I got sick of because they'd kick me out for being too loud, or for being too enthusiastic about church and stuff. I was like, is that not what church is for? To be enthusiastic about, your God or whatever it is that you believe in? And I guess that's not what they stood for. They wanted me to do what they wanted me to do, which was DJ. And I wasn't going to go DJ for a church. They didn't have the right equipment. I wanted my own equipment and stuff. I did end up becoming a very successful DJ in the long run, though. I've got the new track with Skylar Grey and all that called Invisible. And that's just exactly how I feel. I do the vocals in that, and I literally feel like I'm invisible. I ask things of people and I get a reply, but they never follow through. And I'm not sitting here on a poor me trip. That is the fucking truth with some cheese on it. I've called many concert venues, with DJs that they pay to play tracks that I have added sound to and stuff like that. And it's fucking bullshit. That's copyright infringement in the first fucking degree. And they'd rather pop a cap in me before they'd fucking add a new artist to the fucking roster and pay. I could help a lot of people that I know that are struggling and shit like that. And, there's a lot of people I love that could benefit from that. But instead, we got a president that fucking would rather run around, in his nice big old airplane overseas and stuff. I'm stuck on foot because they'd rather, like I said before, the cops would rather let a reckless old woman that can hardly see fucking 5 feet in front of her drive around than a 23-year-old man with 20/20 vision that's not on any drugs and shit. And it's just absolutely mind-bending to me. But anyhow, I just thought I'd give you guys some insight on one of the bands. There's also Abandon All Ships. That guy's one of my close friends, the lead singer in that. All that shit's true. All that shit's happened. Those faces are familiar to me, and to sit here in Texas like this, I appreciate the hospitality and everything. I couldn't ask for a better place to stay while in Texas, but I'm sad that I can't see those familiar faces anymore. I'm sad that people won't put us on stage. They'd rather just sit and fucking beat off on YouTube to us, and it's irking. But hopefully someday it changes.